Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Franchise Hour, Season 2, Episode 11. And today we have a different topic from the usual. We have domestic franchises from the Philippines. Today we are international, and my guests are from the United Arab Emirates. And first of all, I'm introducing Miss Elvie Cancio. She is the owner of the Cancios restaurant. She's a Filipina who migrated to the United Arab Emirates and operates the Cancios restaurant. And of course, that's available for franchise. Hi, Elvie. Welcome to the Franchise Hour.
Yes, hi, how are you, RK? How are you doing
Good.
there
Thank
in the
you. Thank you
Philippines?
for for being with me. And beside of that, we have the partner of Glasgow Consulting Group in Dubai with us. And he is a PhD scholar and a Middle East go-to-market specialist, Mr. Vishal Pandey, today in
Hi,
the
Rodolphe.
program. And yeah, welcome to both of you. You have your lunch break actually, something like that in Dubai. It's lunchtime. I hope you're not too hungry yet to join me in our program. And Elvi, I'll take Vishal first because I have some general questions about Dubai. And Vishal, you're calling yourself go-to-market specialist. What do you understand by a go-to-market specialist?
Oh, that's a very nice and straight question. The answer is straight, Rodolphe. Thank you for inviting me. Quick introduction. I'm Vishal. I'm based in Dubai. Lived and worked in the Middle East for over 15 years. What we do as a business is to help companies, brands, or products which are looking to enter the Middle East market or from UAE, let's say they want to enter the Saudi market. We help them take an informed decision on market entry and growth. By that, I mean to understand the market landscape. Where is the market going? Who is our competitor? What is the price segment we should operate in? What should be our route to market? In summary, in a very layman's language, what are the ingredients which will make me as a company or a product which is looking to enter a market, how will I be successful? So that's what we mean by go to market or route to market, Rodolphe.
You actually originally from India, right? Uh, what brought you to the UAE actually?
Well, I've always been an adventurer, type, and I worked in India for many years, and then I got this opportunity way back in 2005 to come and work with a research company, and it sounded exciting. I've always been a risk taker and a go-getter, and I thought, um, and I think it pretty much is also in a way reflects how this country UAE is, which is again a culmination of a lot of nationalities and you know uh, which who all live in coexistence and peace, and there are some good opportunities for everyone.
How do you see actually the economy in the Middle East right now?
Well, the whole world and the Middle East is going through what I call as disruption, if I may use the word. So every business is currently challenged in its own way. Having said that, I believe with every adversity, there is always a light at the end of the tunnel, and there is always an opportunity. There are businesses which are doing well, which are in fact growing and thus franchising. You do hear of, particularly if I was to talk on the retail and food and beverage retail space. Yes, there is stress in the market, but I still think there are 40 to 50% operators which are still witnessing year-on-year growth. So I think what the environment and the pandemic and the situation around us teaches us is to how do you tweak and redefine your business model, because there are always opportunity. That's what the way I think it. So it's all about learning, unlearning, upgrading your skills. So if you're an individual, what do you do to upgrade your skills? Or how do you make your business model? If you're a restaurateur, what are the ingredients do you need to make your, there is a larger, let's say, emergence of deliveries, right, or takeaways. So should I make my kitchen bigger? Should I, so I think that kind of realignment currently is happening. So anybody who is aware of those and is able to act fast, uh, we believe there are still opportunities around.
How did you see the pandemic? How did it really change the business model in the UAE or the Middle East?
I think the answer again is in what perspective are we looking at answering this question? So if you're looking at whether from an operator perspective or from an investor perspective, I think I was reading an article early this week in which the real estate broking company CEO says we were till the few months back we were in a buyer's market from a real estate residential sales point of view. He says now things are turning into a seller's market, which basically means, this is always how the economic cycle works. If you see historically, we used to get slowdown every 15, 20 years. Now those economic cycles are shorter. However, currently this is not, there is more to the economic cycle because we had this disruption in the name of pandemic, and we were already in a kind of slowdown for various reasons, in 2018, and then pandemic added to that. So I think it's again about how you make your business models leaner. How do you become efficient? We have seen large companies, as an example, offshoring or outsourcing a lot of their services. So I think it gets boils down to the business. So if you're a company with 30 employees, you need to look inside and see what are the services we can outsource as a business or offshore to achieve better cost efficiencies. So I think that is the kind of thinking any owner should be doing today in order to refine and redefine its business model.
Which sectors do you think are coming out ahead of other sectors from the pandemic in the Middle East?
Which sectors are doing better, you mean to say?
Yes, yes, yes.
So the sectors, let me say which sectors witness slowdown. I think the immediate impact because of the consumers not coming out so freely. The sectors which saw slowdown was the retail sector because there was a curb on people coming out freely. There were restrictions, there were distances. Restaurateurs felt that same heat because from a two meter social distancing that was increased to 3 meters. So obviously there were consumers still ordering online deliveries. Now those businesses really grew. I mean, at least I can tell you at least 10 new aggregators which entered the UAE market over the last 1 year. So somebody saw that as an opportunity. Now, whether can 10 new aggregators survive in this situation? Maybe the answer is no. So again, as new situations arise, people think there's an opportunity, but then too many people jump into it. So I think retail will see a lot of realignment. Uh, if you are a store, if you're a business with 20 stores, you will close down stores which were not so profitable or which were already in negative, right? You will only keep the profitable stores. I think more and more businesses are now evaluating at an individual store level. A business has to be profitable, otherwise you just close that store. So I think retail will slowly come out with this refined models. Food and beverage will get refined. We will see a lot of businesses using technology or embracing technology in a bigger way, whether it's a child studying in a school. So they have adapted into the way a child learns, or a way how a teacher teaches, right? That is all changed now. We are in a new world. So I think those kind of uh, things will impact in our day-to-day life. Earlier I used to pay my credit card bills going physically because that's what I used to like, or I had a habit of, but today I pay it online, right? So
Correct.
Somebody who was not habitual of something has changed his habit. So I think it has happened with a lot of us in our day-to-day lives, and that impacts certain businesses in a more better way or in a less better way in case of some businesses. Rodolphe.
What do you think of Saudi? Both of us are very much involved in Saudi. What do you think of their situation now?
I think Saudi, pretty much, if we have to look at, from a strategic perspective, Saudi and UAE are very strategic allies in terms of how business decisions are taken, how, because both the countries, obviously, UAE has a bigger impact on expatriates because we have a bigger workforce as expatriates. But I think Saudi wants to contain some of its, or grow, contain may not be the right word, its domestic tourism. And thus, it needs to create more opportunities of these various tourism products and destinations, which then act as a magnet for the local Saudi. Of course, the Saudis will travel all over the world, but then there are a lot of these mega cities slash destinations slash products which are being created, thought through, and of course, with the advent of cinema, there is a entertainment commission. There are, these mega cities being planned. Now, these are very futuristic. These are very mega, and I think that's where I think a good thing happening, that UAE has, or Dubai for that matter, has always taken leap in doing the biggest, the largest, because that's the way, they have always believed in their vision and their marketing messaging. So I think it's good to see Saudi going in a similar direction, and I think that is the need of the hour, with when you want to move your reliance from oil to a non-oil based economy. So I see it as a very positive aspect, and overall it gets better for the region. More capital will get attracted, more people will, the visa regimes will get easier and more. Maybe UAE and Saudi will come up with a joint visa, right? Whether it's a business visa or a tourist visa. So I think I see all these things as positive steps, which eventually help more business visitors or leisure visitors to come into both these uh, countries and destinations, overall impacting the business in a more positive way.
So yeah, I agree with you. I mean, there's still a lot of hope in the Middle East, and we can look forward to better times again in the economy of the Middle East, and sure you will be in the forefront of that one. All right, thank you,
Hope you
Vishal.
can
In the
travel to
meantime,
South is one.
and
Yeah.
I'm welcoming in now Elvie,
Yeah, hi.
and
Yeah, hi,
Elvie,
Rodolphe. How are you?
hi. Uh, you actually, I'm doing good, thank you. Elvie, you actually a Filipina who came from Batangas. Uh,
Yeah, that's right.
when did you actually transfer to the Middle East?
Well, it's a journey, I should say,
Hello.
because I went to Middle East, to Dubai at first. Then I went to US and I came back to Middle East. That's how it is. So it's a journey for me. Yeah.
All right.
So way back home, I work as
Life is a
actually I'm a
journey,
registered nurse by
always.
profession. Yeah. So now I'm here again. I'm back in Middle East and doing the business
So
and
how did you come to the restaurant business?
well, actually, as I said, I'm a nurse by profession, and I don't
How did
have.
you come to the restaurant business?
Well, I believe this is by luck, and as I go along, it's luck. I have seen that from long time I'd love to do a business. So when I got the opportunity of somebody introduced me on this venture, on this business, then I took the chance. Although I don't have any how should I say, I don't have any experience in we don't have any experience in hospitality industry, but as we go along, we learn the business, we love the business, and now in spite of all the struggle, we are here what we are now, we are here today existing. Yeah.
You opened a restaurant called Cancios, okay?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
the menu is actually Filipino Mexican. How did you come to the idea of mixing Mexican and Filipino in your menu?
That's a very good question. Actually, we conceptualize in something that because we have seen that Filipino food, Filipino cuisine is not really not much known. So we think of something a gateway that so other nationality uh will know and taste the Filipino food. So we think of a international brand, international cuisine that we can fusion together with the Filipino food. So since the for all you know, the Philippines is colonized by Spaniards. So I said, oh, it's a very good way to fusion the Filipino and Mexican food. Aside from the fact that we are here in Middle East, some of the menu of Mexican is somewhat related, also similar in taste with or in some Arabic food like shawarma, for example. Shawarma is just like burrito for Mexican. So that's how we come up with the you know with the concept of Mexican Filipino fusion. And also really it became a gateway for those tourist visitors in UAE to know and to taste the Filipino food, because once they see, oh, it's a Mexican food, so they will enter. For all they know, for all we know, this is the first time for them to know the Filipino foods. So we offer the Filipino foods to them, and they really love the Filipino foods. They like the pancit, those bulalo. You will be surprised that those kind of new menu to them, they love and accepted, and you can hear good comments from them, from the visitors. So this
So
is how is it.
what people are more eating now? What are
Pardon?
people more eating now? The Filipino food or the Mexican? What is more popular? What is more
Well,
popular now? The Filipino part or the
honestly,
Mexican part?
well, actually, it is becoming a mix because sometimes they will order appetizer for Mexican, like for example nachos, and then they will order the main dish for what sisig, which is a Filipino food. So it's kind of mix to those to our
Correct.
customers. Yeah. So basically,
Yeah,
this
when
is
I'm in your restaurant, I always order the
pardon. Hi, what is that, Rodolph?
yeah
I could
when I'm in
hardly
your
hear.
restaurant, I'm always yes. I said yeah. We have an internet problem here.
Ye-
Every time I'm in your restaurant in Dubai, I always like the Mexican because the Filipino I have in the Philippines anyway.
Yeah, and I
So
believe in
all
the
right.
Philippines there.
Uh,
Mhm. I believe in the Philippines there are so many Mexican restaurant also, right? But for all I know and for what I have seen, the Mexican restaurant in the Philippines is really Mexican. I don't know how, if I
yes, yes,
correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't seen like a fusion of Mexican and Filipino. You
yes,
see,
correct,
some
correct.
internationally recognized restaurant are fusion of Mexican and American, right? So what we did
Correct.
here is different. Mexican and Filipino, So
Correct.
and Filipinos are well
Let's
oriented
show
as well
let's
to
show
the
something.
Mexican. Pardon?
Yes. Yeah. Let's show some
Oh yeah.
pictures, and I put
Mhm.
the the slides on screen now. Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Go
So I
ahead.
hope you can see it already. All right,
Yeah,
there we go.
that's.
So
Mm-hmm.
our people can see. So this is how Cancios looks in Dubai. This is the restaurant. It's a modern, family-friendly, casual, fine dining restaurant. So, all right, where we all begun. So this is the story of Cancios restaurant. You actually founded it in Lipa City, Batangas, and you rebranded it in Dubai. And the concept was simple to create a food environment that was well suited to have great conversation, serve quality, fresh cooked food. So let's take a look at the interiors. So the theme, are you there, Elvie?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here. I'm
The
seeing the.
menu.
Yeah,
All right. So we have pictures from the Filipino
that
and the
is.
Mexican cuisine, and it really fits together. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Elvie.
yeah, yeah. So you are doing good on the slide. Go ahead. Just
So these are
continue
the
because
Filipino
you see us.
highlights. Sisig, as you said,
Yeah,
inasal,
yeah. This is
kare-kare,
our. Mhm.
and then we have the Mexican highlights from nachos and chicken, and
Paella.
yeah, looks very mouth-watering.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, milk tea, smoothies, and frios, and of course, everything is also according to the COVID for takeout and delivery. So you have excellent reviews on Facebook, and your guests are really happy to be in your place. The see Martin Rivera was in your place, and Senator, and a lot of VIPs who, and you have been featured also in a lot of programs.
Yeah, we are well visited by
So
some
nice
celebrities.
to uh, show this off. And of course, you're available as a
Yes,
franchise uh, in the Philippines and anywhere in the world.
that's right.
So Cancios can be franchised in the Philippines, which would be very interesting because its focus is on Filipino and Mexican food as well as uh, anywhere else in the world. And since you're already also in the Middle East based, so we could also franchise you anywhere else uh, in the Middle East, for example. All right.
That's right.
Uh, so I'm welcoming back again Vishal as well. If anybody wants to get in touch with you guys, how can they contact you? Vishal, if anybody needs a market to go person for the Middle East, how can they get in touch with you?
Rudolph, they can get in touch with my good friend Rudolph. Well, we
Okay.
are on the internet. We are on the internet. Our company name is Glasgow Consulting Group, and my email is
Yes.
very simple: Victory Papa, which is my initial at the rate glasgowconsultinggroup.com. And yeah, happy to answer anything at a no obligation chat. Should anyone want to do it, happy to be of any help. Rodolphe, you're doing a great job, and
All right.
Elvie,
Excellent.
great
Yeah,
success
hi.
story.
Hope. Yeah,
I really like your success story. Good
yeah.
job.
Hope to come and see us and visit us and taste our food.
Very good food, Vishal. Highly recommended. Elvie, how can they get in touch with you if they want the franchise from you?
Well, of course, definitely through our consultant who is Mr. Rudolph. Definitely people knows you. You have your contact, you have your
Thank you.
page. Everybody,
Thank
definitely
you.
they can contact you. And of course, we also have our own page, Cancios Restaurant in Dubai. That is also our Facebook page. But you know, it they can just see our contact there in our page, and of course, definitely with you being our consultant.
Thank you
So
so much. Thank you so much.
thank you for the invite,
Unfortunately, today
Rudolph.
we have a little bit of problem with the internet. It was
Yeah,
definitely my pleasure. The franchise hour is every Thursday from 4 to 5 p.m. And if you want to, for our listener, if you want to listen to previous episodes, all of them are available on the YouTube channel of Rocky Franchise. So you can follow all the franchise hours what we had so far. Next week we will be visiting Australia, and we have our franchisors, OFW's franchisors, who are based in Australia in Sydney, and also our partner there as guests. So for the day, I would like to thank Miss Elvie Cancio of Cancio's Restaurant and Mr. Vishal Pandey of Glasgow Consulting to be the guest in the franchise hour. Thank you so much for
yeah.
being with
Thank you
you,
also for the
and
invite,
see you
and
next
yeah,
Thursday. I love you.
yeah,
Thank you,
sure.
Rodolphe. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Thank
thanks.
you, Elvie.
you.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.